Hello Inklings, I'm Bianca and welcome back to Binks Things. So today I'm going to be talking about why I failed to learn Japanese 2 years ago and my new plan to actually learn it properly this time around. So I'm going to be talking about the 5 main reasons why I failed at learning Japanese, and then I will also be giving you my new plan. I do also have to mention that this video is inspired by my friend Leia from Literally Leia. She did a similar video a few years ago about Spanish, and I found that really motivational at the time and really inspiring. So if you haven't watched that video yet, please do check it out. And without further ado, let's get into Japanese. So 2 years ago, I discovered that a lot of the things that I enjoy come from Japan, from art to food to cinema, a lot of things. And then I became really interested in Japan, and I really want to go visit Japan, which I will be doing in 6 months. So that is the kind of kick in the butt I've gotten recently to get back to learning Japanese and actually do it properly this time around. So the first mistake that I made was I didn't have a plan. So I had a planner. I always have planners. I was using this one along with my regular bullet journal and whatever else. But I didn't actually use this to make a plan. I was just using it to log what I did. I thought that would be less pressure, but I think it is actually better having a sort of plan for, I want to do at least these 4 things every week and then try to fit it in whenever possible. So I didn't even have that as a plan. So that was the number 1 mistake I made. Number 2, I burnt myself out. I got really burnt out. I got so inspired and I was really enthusiastic. So I went and I tried to learn as many hiragana as possible in like the span of a day or 2. And I was having such a great time. And then by day 3, I was just exhausted and I really struggled to continue. And because I learnt it all in such a quick amount of time, I wasn't really remembering it a week or 2 later. So I tend to do that when I am excited about new things. I'm all in and then I do too much. So that is something across the board that I'm trying to not do so much. I'm trying to pace myself. So this time around, hopefully I won't get burnt out, and it's going well already. So fingers crossed. Number 3, I had too many resources. And that includes digital and physical resources. I got a bunch of textbooks. I did do research about the textbooks though, and I got this one because I really enjoyed the French version of this and I thought it would be good. But all the others, I did do research. I watched a lot of videos and I found what the best resources are and I got those. But I got too many at once and then I didn't know which one I wanted to start with. Then I just became a bit too overwhelmed. It's also, not really realistic keeping all of these on my desk and working through them all at once. So I think if I had just bought one and finished it, that would have been a much better idea. I also ended up subscribing to a bunch of podcasts, a bunch of YouTube channels, but at the end of the day, I overwhelmed myself and I should have started with less. And I still need to weed through some of those and get rid of them actually. Then the 4th mistake I made was that I did not make it a part of my daily routine. So when I was feeling inspired and motivated, I was on school holidays. I'm a high school teacher, and whenever I'm on school holidays, I have all of this magical brain power and energy that I don't really have capacity for when I am teaching, because teaching is very draining and it takes up a lot of my time. But in the holidays, I feel like I can do anything and then I really want to say yes to 50 billion things, but then when it comes back to work time, I actually don't have the capacity or time for any of those things. So last time I did not take that into consideration, also because I was quite new to teaching at the time. But now that I'm in my third year, I think I have a better idea of what I can expect from myself, and making language learning a part of my daily routine is possible in the mornings before work and maybe once or twice after work, but I can definitely make more time for it on the weekends, which I have been doing for French, so that's been going well. So this time around I will definitely be making it a part of my realistic actual work life routine, because you can't just practice something 4 times a year in the holidays and then think it'll stay in your brain, because it won't. You need to actually implement it into your day-to-day life to make proper progress. And then the fifth and final reason, probably the main reason why I failed, was that I gave up and I put it on the back burner. So because of all of those other reasons, I didn't have a plan, I burnt myself out, I had too many resources which overwhelmed me, and I didn't make it a part of my daily routine. That all led to me kind of forgetting about it and then not actually continuing with my Japanese learning. I also got a bit distracted and I said, oh, I'm going to learn Greek, so I got sidetracked. But that all led to me giving up on Japanese, and that is the main reason why I failed, was because I stopped. Anything else can be fixed, and as long as you just keep practicing, you can make progress. I have learned other languages in the past. English is my second language, and I am kind of intermediate-ish with French, so I do know that it is possible to learn languages as long as you keep going and you keep trying. So I should not have given up, but I'm very glad I am coming back to it now. Let's get into my new plan. So I'm going to implement Japanese into my day-to-day routine because I have a plan this time around. I am starting off with a plan that someone else has made. I'm doing the Japanese in 12 with Japanese with Amy. So she has a bunch of courses made for 15 minutes a day learning Japanese. I paid for the 3-month course, and I'm going to stick to doing that every single week for the next 3 months. I am 1.5 weeks into that already, and it's going well. I am fitting it into my life. I'm still on holiday, so I'll see how it goes when I'm back at work, but I was doing another study course, so I know I can actually study while working as long as I make time for it and then don't burn out with other things. So yeah, Japanese in 12, 15 minutes a day of Japanese. I think that's realistic and doable. I have found though that I was drawn back to the Tofugu website and the mnemonics, how they teach you hiragana over there. So I'm using that resource as well for a little bit of extra practice, and I found that that is the best way for me to actually memorize and learn. So I'm using those 2 resources. I'm putting all of the rest away for the time being. I'm also not using a physical book or printing things out right now. I do travel a lot, so it's going to be easier for me to do everything on my iPad. I also used to use my iPad when I was a university student, so I don't know why I didn't initially have the idea of doing all of my language learning on my iPad as well, because it really worked so well for me while I was at university. So that's what I'm doing now. I am taking all of the PDFs and things from the course and putting it onto my iPad. The Tofugu website also has a PDF that they've come up with, this one, which I've put on my iPad as well. So this is in my bag, and then I can take it out at lunch breaks at work or when I go places on the weekend, and it's a lot easier than lugging around a billion textbooks and things like that. If you guys are interested, I am happy to give monthly updates on my learning. I think that would be really fun. I also want to do a travel journal when we do end up going to Japan next year. So I might share a bit of that as well. I've been watching lots of other people's videos on YouTube and it's made me so excited, and I do hope that I can understand and hold a bit of a conversation once we're there, and kind of read a bit in order to not feel totally overwhelmed in a new country. I'm so excited for the trip. Please let me know down below if you are learning Japanese, if you're learning other languages, how many languages you speak, if you've failed at a language before, which mistakes have you made, and how have you fixed that. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you all, and keep learning, Inklings. I'll see you next time. Bye.